Good morning, everyone. Today's case presentation by me, Dr. Praveen Singh. Chronic rhinosinusitis with DNS to the right with bilateral inferior terminate hypertrophy under the guidance of Dr. Tarun Ojha sir. Patient name is Mohan Kumar, age 56-year male, religion Hindu, address Tok, Rajasthan, occupation teacher, socioeconomic status is middle socioeconomic class. What is the importance of the name for identification of the patient, for developing rapport with the patient, for maintaining the record of the patient, and may help in identifying the unknown religion. Importance of the age. Nasopharyngeal angiofibroma, rhinosporidiosis, atrophic rhinitis are more common in young age. Maxillary carcinoma are more common in elderly. Now, importance of the sex. Male nasopharyngeal angiofibroma, rhinosporidiosis, and inverted papilloma are more common. In female, atrophic rhinitis are more common than male. The importance of the address. Rhinosporidiosis is very common in the Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, MP, and West Bengal. Atrophic rhinitis more common at tropical countries like India. Rhinoscleroma are more common in northern state of the India. Plumage are more common in central part of the Gujarat. Importance of the occupation. Farmers, rhinosporidiosis, industry environment, vasomotor rhinitis, and nickel, chromium, and arsenic workers, septal perforation are more common. In furniture industry, sinonasal malignancy. Now, caste, Bodhya community of within region of the India are more incidents of sickle cell anemia. Hence, the episode of epistaxis are more common. Sindhis and Bansalis of the region are have more incidents of thalassemia major and have more episode of epistaxis and bleeding disorder. Now, socioeconomic class is classified according to modified Kupusomic classification, depend upon the education of the head of the family, occupation of the head of the family, total per capita family income per month. For education of the head of family, if he has professional degree, then score is 7, graduate 6, intermediate diploma then 5, if high school then 4, middle class 3, primary school 2, illiterate then 1. Occupation of the head of the family. For professional, the score is 10. For semi-professional, 6. Clerical, shop or farm owner, 5. Skilled worker, 4. Semi-skilled worker, 3. Unskilled worker, 2. Unemployed, 1. Total per capita family income per month. If if he earned 2000 and above, then score is 12. If 1000 and 1999, then 10. 750 to 999, 6. 500 to 749, 4. 300 to 499 rupees, 3. 101 to 299 rupees, 2. Less than 100 rupee, then 1. Now they are divided according to classes. If a person is score between 26 to 29, then he come in under the upper class. 16 to 25 upper middle class, 11 to 15 lower middle class, 5 to 10 upper lower class, below 5 lower class. Now the main patient present to ENT OPD, his chief complaint was bilateral nasal obstruction since 3 years, bilateral nasal discharge since 3 years, complaint of headache since 1 year on and off. History of present illness. Patient was apparently asymptomatic 3 years back when he developed complaint of bilateral nasal obstruction, which was insidious in onset, gradually progressive in nature, continuous throughout the day without any aggravating or relieving factor. Patient also complaining of bilateral nasal discharge since 3 years. The discharge was insidious in onset, intermittent in nature, mucopurulent in color, mucoid in consistency, not foul smelling, no position or diurnal variation. It is really after taking medication in form of oral tablet and nasal spray. No associated aggressive factor are present. Patient also complained of headache since 1 year. Headache was insidious in onset, intermittent in nature, seen in winter season. No positional or diurnal variation. It is relieved after taking medication in the form of oral tablet. Negative history. No history of facial heaviness, fullness, watering or itching in the eye, bleeding from the nose, disturbance of smell, visual disturbance, fever, earache, snoring, or difficulty in speech, weight loss, appetite loss, halitosis, or dental pain, and cough. Now, what are the complaints of nasal obstruction? Differential diagnosis. In bilateral nasal obstruction, in vestibule, if bilateral vestibulitis, collapsing nasal alveoli, stenosis of nares, congenital atresia of the nares. In nasal cavity, acute rhinitis, viral or bacterial. Chronic rhinosinusitis, rhinosinusitis medicamentosa, allergic rhinitis, hypertrophic turbinates, DNS, nasal polyp, atrophic rhinitis, rhinitis sicca, septal hematoma, septal abscess, bilateral conal atresia. In nasopharynx, adenoid hyperplasia, large conal polyp, thornwall cyst, adjacent between the soft palate and posteriorly, pharyngeal wall, large benign or malignant tumors. The causes of unilateral nasal obstruction in vestibule furuncle, vestibulitis, stenosis of nares, atresia, nasoalveolar cyst, papilloma, squamous cell carcinoma. In nasal cavity, foreign body, deviated nasal septum, hypertrophy terminate, concabulosa, AC polyp, Hynekia, rhinolith, bleeding polyp of the septum, benign and malignant tumors of the nose and paranasal sinusitis, and unilateral. Nasopharynx, unilateral conal atresia. Causes of nasal obstruction in children: foreign body, adenoids, rhinitis, conal atresia, and nasal diphtheria. The causes of nasal discharge: in unilateral nasal discharge, unilateral foul spelling purulent discharge in children is almost certain of foreign body in nasal nose unless proved otherwise. Bilateral nasal discharge is present in DNS, ethmoid polyp, nasal allergy in adult, and adenoid infection in children. Now, characteristic of the discharge. Watery discharge is seen in allergic rhinitis. Clear fluid-like discharge is suggestive of CSF rhinorrhea. Mucous discharge in DNS. Purulent discharge in sinusitis. Blood stain discharge are seen in AC polyp, rhinosporidiosis malignancy. Headache in acute sinusitis, maxillary sinusitis causes infraorbital pain. Frontal sinus causes supraorbital pain. Headache of the frontal sinus does not disturb sleep, has a characteristic periodicity. It starts in the forenoon, reaches peak in the midday, and subsides in the evening, after which the patient is free from the headache. Vacuum headache results from obstruction of the air entry into the frontal sinus. Ethmoid sinusitis, pain over the bridge of the nose and between the eyes. And sphenoid sinusitis causes occipital, vertical, at vertex or retroauricular pain. Anterioethmoidal neuralgia. In patient with high DNS, pressing the middle terminate causes pressure on the anterioethmoidal nerve. That also called Schluter headache. Now, sneezing differential diagnosis. Sneeze is protective mechanism and is initiated by the abnormal stimulation of the nasal mucosa. Sneak with watery nasal discharge occur in nasal allergy. Now, importance of the negative history. Disturbance of the smell seen in severe DNS. Snoring present in cases of DNS, nasal polyp, inferior terminal hypertrophy. Recurrent or chronic rhinosinusitis seen in obstruction of sinus ostia due to marked DNS can be lead to poor ventilation and drainage of the sinuses. Middle ear infection can occur due to eustachian tube obstruction. Atrophic rhinitis, such changes may occur on concave side. In asthma, DNS may act as a trigger for bronchospasm. Now, past history. Patient had no past history of hypertension, diabetes, ischemic heart disease, TB, asthma, or bleeding disorder, or any allergy or dust or smoke allergy history. No blood transfusion in past, or no any sexual transmitted disease, or any history of drug allergy, or any surgery in the past, or similar complaint in the past. In a personal history, patient is vegetarian by diet, appetite is normal, bowel bladder habit are normal, sleep not disturbed, and no addiction. Family history are no significant. Importance of past history. History of evening rise of temperature, loss of weight, appetite are seen in tubercular cases, or in nose nodular ulcerative lesion or lupus vulgaris. In history of blood pressure cases, we could see the epistaxis, relative contraindication for surgery, diabetes mellitus for fungal infection of the nose, asthma associated with nasal allergy, allergy it could be seen in allergic rhinitis, vasomotor rhinitis, ethmoidal polyp, or asthma. History of sexually transmitted disease are seen in syphilis. We could see the syphilis, gumma, or septum, yaw, nodule in nose. History of similar complaint in past, recurrent ethmoid polyp, recurrence of the carcinoma. History of any medical or surgical treatment in past. History of head injury or fracture of from plate may cause anosmia or CS rhinorrhea. Importance of the personal history. History of smoking, alcoholism, drug or snub addiction causes septal perversion in addicts. History of excessive use of nasal decongestant, hypotensive drugs, rhinitis medicamentosa, chronic nasal obstruction. The importance of family history. History of similar complaint in family, allergy, asthma, polyp are taken, and history of bleeding disorder if there are hypertension or diabetes mellitus or any associated family history. In my case, family history is important since DNS can be genetic. A general examination: the patient is conscious, cooperative, and well oriented to time, place, and person. Patient is well built and nourished. No pallor, icterus, or clubbing, or cyanosis, or generalized lymphadenopathy or pedal edema seen. Now the vitals: BP 140 by 90 mm mercury in right branchial artery in sitting position. Pulse was 80 per minute, regular in rhythm, rate, and volume in right, measure in right radial artery. Respiratory rate was 20 per minute, abdominothoracic type. Temperature was afebrile by touch. On systemic examination, cardiovascular system, S1 S2 heart sound was normal, no murmur was heard. Respiratory system, vascular breathing was present, bilateral air entry equal, no additional sound heard. CNS, central nervous system examination, higher mental function are normal, per abdominal soft, non-tender, no carding, no rigidity, or no organomegaly are seen. Significance of the general examination. General examination done for proper diagnosis and differential diagnosis, for selecting the patient for anesthesia, to decide type of surgery to be done, to predict the prognosis. Mental state is important. Mental state and level of the consciousness should be assessed in general, but in particular in specific clinic situation like head injury, hepatic encephalopathy, and septic shock. Now Glasgow Coma scale. We will measure the eye response, motor response, and verbal response. In eye opening, if patient uh, spontaneously responds, then score is 4. Response to verbal command, then 3. Response to pain, the score is 2. No eye opening, the score is 1. For verbal command, if patient is oriented, then 5. Confused, 4. Inappropriate word, 3. Incomprehensible sound, 2. No verbal response, 1. And most motor response, if patient obey the command, 6 score. Localized response to the pain, 5. Withdrawal response to the pain, 4. Flexion to the pain, 3. Extension to the pain, 2. And no motor response, 1. Build and nutritional status. Build and nutritional status of the patient is important to be assessed. Build is structural organization of the underlying skeleton. It is related to the age and sex of the patient. In normal adult, height of the person is equal to the length of the arm span. Upper segment from the vertex to pubic symphysis is equal to the lower segment from pubic symphysis to heel. In infant, upper segment is more than the lower segment and height is more than the arm span. Nutrition is important of the soft tissue structure like muscle, soft tissue, and fat in relation to the bony structure. Protein deficiency causes rough skin, brittle hair, and edema fit. Fat deficiency causes cachexia, hollow cheek, loss of fat in hip, abdomen, and subcutaneous tissue of the elbow. Now, in which cases we will see what is pallor, and in which cases we could see it. Pallor is checked in lower palpebral conjunctiva, mucosa membrane of the lip and cheek, nail beds, and palmar crease. Causes of pallor are massive bleeding, shock, dysphagia, thoracic carcinoma, nasopharyngeal angiofibroma, iron deficiency anemia, and atrophic rhinitis and epistaxis. Icterus, it is due to deposition of bile pigments with excess of it in plasma. It is checked by in upper sclera, better seen against the white background by asking the patient to look at his feet and clinician pull the upper eyelid upward. It also can be checked in nail bed, ear lobule, nasal tip, and in under surface of the tongue. A cyanosis. It is due to rise of level of reduced hemoglobin in the blood, causing the blue and purple discoloration in the skin and mucous membrane. A minimum 5 mg per deciliter of reduced hemoglobin should be present in circulation to cause cyanosis. Peripheral cyanosis is checked in nail bed, palm, toes, tip of the nose, tongue is not involved in the peripheral cyanosis. Central cyanosis is confirmed by checking in tongue, nail bed, palm, and toes. Cyanosis is seen in foreign body bronchus with lung collapse. Cyanosis could also be seen in obstructive sleep apnea and coronal atresia. And edema, it is collection of the fluid in interstitial space or soft tissue. Edema will be clinically evident only when the fluid accumulates more than 5 liters. Pitting on pressure in the cardinal sign of edema. Condition in ENT: myxedema, angioneurotic edema, cachexia in malignancy, liver metastatic carcinoma, metastatic lymph node processing on lymphatics. Now, normal pulse rate is 60 to 100 per minute. Tachycardia means increased pulse rate more than 100 per minute. It is seen in anemia, thyrotoxicosis, fever, sepsis, and severe pain and shock. Bradycardia is decrease in pulse rate less than 100. Now, blood pressure. If there could be a hypertensive or hypertension is persistent rise systolic pressure above 140 mercury or diastolic pressure above 90 degree 90 mercury. It is sustained elevation of systolic blood pressure. It is seen in thyrotoxicosis, rise intracranial tension. Hypotension diminished blood pressure. Systolic BP is less than 90. It is seen in cachexia of malignancy, tuberculosis, anemia, functional causes. Now the respiration is tachypnea. If respiratory rate is more than 20 per minute, is rapid breathing seen in hypothyroidism, metastasis, fever, shock, hypoxia, acidosis, tetani, hysteria. Gradual deepening of the respiratory alternating with the short period of apnea is called chain stop respiration. Fever normally temperature of patient is person is 36.7 to 37.5 degrees centigrade. In Fahrenheit 98 to 99 degree Fahrenheit. In diurnal variation of 1 degree centigrade temperature in normal patient we could see in lowest in during the morning to 4 a.m. and highest being in the afternoon. Fever is increase in body temperature more than 1 degree centigrade or more than the maximum range. Site of measurement oral, axillary, or rectal. Type of fever continuous fever persists throughout the day and does not fluctuate more than 1 degree centigrade in 24 hours. Intermittent fever is above normal throughout the day, but there is fluctuation of more than 1 degree centigrade in 24 hours. Intermittent fever temperature is present only few hours a day and reaches to the normal. When fever develops daily, it is called a coordination. When it fever develop on alternate day, it is called tertian. When it occur every day, it is called a quarantine. Now, on the local examination of the nose, the external examination of the nose, the skin of the nose was normal, and the vestibule was normal. External nares was the normal. Anterior on examination of the anterior rhinoscopy, the nasal septum was deviated toward the right side. Nasal mucosa was pinkish, and nasal floor was normal on both sides. Nasal cavity discharge present on the both sides. Inferior terminate hypertrophy was seen on both sides. Inferior meatus normal. Middle terminate on right side not visualized. In left side it was normal. Middle meatus on right side not visualized, and left side purulent discharge was seen. And we could see the DNS and bilateral inferior terminate hypertrophy. On bilateral maxillary sinus tenderness present, cold spatula test is done to in this test we could see the decreased fogging on the right side, and on cortical test the decreased movement of the cortical on the right side, and on bilateral maxillary sinus tenderness was present on examination. And for diagnosis of the chronic rhinosinusitis, there are major and minor factor. In major factor, there is facial pain or pressure, facial congestion, fullness or nasal obstruction or blockage, nasal discharge or pleural, discolor postnasal drip, hyposmia on examination, purulent nasal discharge. These are the major factor. And in minor factor, the headache, fever, halitosis, fatigue, maxillary dental pain, cough, ear pain, pressure or fullness in the ear. The presence of two or more major factor or one major factor and two minor factor or purulent nasal discharge make the diagnosis of the chronic rhinosinusitis. By definition, acute rhinosinusitis is if patient present with the complaint of from 7 days to the less than 4 week or less or equal to the 4 week, then it is acute rhinosinusitis. In subacute, if patient present with the complaint of from 4 week to till the 12 week, then it is subacute rhinosinusitis. In recurrent acute rhinosinusitis, if episode more equal to the 4 episode of the acute rhinosinusitis in each year. In chronic rhinosinusitis, if patient present with the complaint of more or equal to the 12 weeks. In acute on chronic rhinosinusitis, the sudden worsening of chronic rhinosinusitis with return to the baseline afterward. On posterior rhinoscopy examination, the posterior part of nasal septum was normal. Both corner was normal. Roof and posterior wall of nasal pharynx was normal. Opening of the ischial tube was normal. Fossa of Rosenmuller was normal on examination. The- Now, what we could find in external examination of the nose. If depressed nasal breeze, then seen in leprosy, syphilis, or TB. In nasal injury, common after the road traffic accident, deviated nose are seen in common in boxers. Congenital swelling, like seen in glioma. Benign condition like rhinopyoma. Broadening of nose are seen in AC polyp. Frog face deformity are seen in juvenile nasopharyngeal angiofibroma. Crepitus on examination we could see in fracture nasal bone. Acne rosacea are typically butterfly rays over the nose and cheek. Dermatocyst as a discharging sinus at the osteocartilaginous junction of the nose. Furuncle as a tender red swelling at the tip of the nose. Enlargement of the bony skeleton. Paget disease or fibrous osseous disease. Cartilaginous enlargement are seen in chondroma, chondrosarcoma. Ulcer or neoplasma on the nose are seen in basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and herpes zoster or syphilis. Herpes simplex. Woody field nose are seen in rhinoscleroma. Now, differential diagnosis in anti-rhinoscopy. If we in nasal septum examination, we could see the nasal spur or deviated septal deviation, septal dislocation, septal perforation. Septal perforation are mainly seen iatrogenic, or in syphilis, the bony septum perforation are seen in tubercular, the cartilaginous portion of the septum are perforated. In granulomatous disease or leprosy, also we could see the septal perforation. Snuff taker perforation are in tobacco and cocaine addiction. It is being snuff. Chromium perforation are chromia worker due to acid fumes. Pick ulcer perforation are due to picking of an ulcerated area. Nasal cavity, narrow or septal deviation or hypertrophy terminate or polyp or growth. In these cases, we will see the narrow nasal cavity. In wide nasal cavity, we will see in atrophic rhinitis. Discharge we could see in cases of mucopurulent or purulent or blood discharge we could see in nasal cavity in other different cases. Nasal mucosa are normally pink, generalized congestion, common cold, rhinitis medicamentosa. Pale are seen in allergic rhinitis, dry and crusting atrophic rhinitis, normally seen on concave tunnel. Floor of the nose, if the defect we could find in cleft palate or fistula, swelling, there could be dental cyst, neoplasm, hemangioma, granulation, fine body or osteitis. Terminate, a large swollen terminate are seen in hypertrophic rhinitis, vasomotor rhinitis. Smaller rudimentary terminate are seen in atrophic rhinitis, congested in inflammation, and pale in seen in allergy cases. Inferior and middle meatus, discharge polyp in middle meatus, infection seen in infection of the maxillary frontal or ethmoid sinus. Between the middle and terminate and septum, there could be due to, if we see the discharge, there could be due to posterior group of ethmoid sinus. Now, examination of oral cavity, mouth opening adequate, lip, gum, GB sulcus, teeth, floor of the mouth, buccal mucosa, hard palate, anterior two-third of the tongue on examination was normal. Oropharynx, bilateral base of the tongue, uvula, soft palate, anterior pillar, posterior pillar, tonsil, and posterior pharyngeal wall was normal on examination. On larynx, bilateral vocal cord examination done, both were mobile and laryngeal capitis was present. On examination of neck, no cervical lymphadenopathy was seen. On examination of the ear, on pre-auricular region, right and left both side was normal. Post-auricular, right and left both was normal. External auditory canal was normal on both sides. Tympanic membrane was normal on both sides. On Rini test, positive on both sides. Vapor was lateralized to the both sides. A absolute bone conduction test was done. Of both sides was positive. 8 cranial examination was done. Both side was normal. On investigation, we will perform the diagnostic nasal endoscopy in chronic rhinosinusitis cases, X-ray, PNS in water view, NCT PNS, routine blood investigation, COVID-19 RT-PCR, HRCT chest. Now, a provisional diagnosis is chronic rhinosinusitis with symptomatic deviated nasal septum to the right side with bilateral inferior terminate hypertrophy. And for management of these cases, we will do functional endoscopic sinus surgery, septoplasty or SMR, bilateral inferior terminoplasty. Now the question and answer. Question by Dr. Almas. Which are the primary order? They are musky, putrid, pungent, ethyl, and floral, and peppermint, and camphorous. अरे यार मोनिका. Now question by Dr. Monica. Major and minor factor in chronic rhinosinusitis. Major factor are facial pain and pressure, facial congestion or fullness, nasal obstruction or blockage, nasal discharge or pleurisy, discolour or postnasal discharge, hyposmia on examination, pleural and nasal discharge. In minor factor are headache, fever, halitosis, fatigue, maxillary and dental pain, cough, ear pain, oppression in the ear or fullness in the ear. The presence of two or more major factor on one major factor and two minor factor or purulent nasal blockage make the diagnosis of chronic rhinosinusitis. A question by Dr. B1. What are the different nasal bridge deformity? They are saddle nose deformity, hump deformity, crooked nose, bridge deviation, obvious scar or sinus cyst, ulcer or growth like rodent ulcer, lupus vulgaris on skin of the nose. Broadening of the nose are seen in large polyp or malignancy. Swelling, redness of the skin over the nose surrounding are is seen in vestibulitis, furunculosis, and rhinopyoma. Next question by Dr. Kanika. What is paradoxical nasal obstruction? Paradoxical nasal obstruction are seen in patient complaining of unilateral nasal obstruction, but the anterior rhinoscopic examination we see the septum is deviated on the opposite side. These patients have long-standing fixed nasal obstruction to which they are have been become accustomed to and or now aware of it. Because swelling occur on the opposite side associated with the nasal cycle causes intermittent obstruction, which the patient appreciate as the main symptom. Now, next question by Dr. Bhargavi. What are the types of DNS? There are caudal David septal deviation, C-shape, S-shape, and septal thickness and septal spur. Now, next question by Dr. Nirvika. What are the complications of the rhinosinusitis? They are divided into acute, chronic, and associated disease. In acute, the orbital are if inflammation to the orbita, edema, inflammatory edema, orbital cellulitis, subperiosteal abscess, orbital abscess, cavernous sinus thrombosis, and in intracranial complication, the abscess extradural, subdural, or cerebral, or we could see the meningitis, encephalitis, cavernous and superior sagittal sinus thrombosis. In bone, we could see the osteitis, osteomyelitis, like Port Puffy tumor. And we could see the complication in dental pain and in toxic shock syndrome. In chronic, we could see the mucocil or pyocil. In associated disease, we could see the otitis media, adenotonsillitis, and bronchiectasis. Question by Dr. Arushi: what are the symptoms of chronic sinusitis? Symptoms of chronic sinusitis include the pressure and pain in the face, discolor and thick mucus, congestion of the postnasal drip, difficulty in breathing, lack of energy, fatigue, diminished sleep, poor headache, uh, poor mood, and headache, cough, and fever. Question by Dr. Nishan: what is Quatel test? This test is done for examination of the abnormality of the nasal valve. The procedure are done, cheek is drawn laterally while the patient breathes quietly. If there is subjective improvement in nasal airway, the test is positive and which indicate the nasal valve is compromised. Question by Dr. Manan: what is the different diagnosis of chronic rhinosinusitis? There are mainly four different diagnoses: primary ciliary dyskinesia, fungal infection, systemic disease like sarcoidosis, Wagner granulomatosis, other mucosa or ciliary abnormalities, and gastroesophageal reflux disease. If presenting complaint is postnasal discharge. Thank you.